Greetings everyone, hi guys, and thank you for joining me. Sagittarius, this is your reading for March 2019. I know I missed the February ones, but remember that I did do a year perspective reading which has February in it, and I'll put the link below this video so you guys can go and check on that if you're still interested in the February outcome for yourselves for the month. This week I'm doing these readings is the week of the Valentine's Day, so it's a great week to bring in a little bit of love and foster that love into all areas of our life. So it doesn't just have to be specifically romantic love, but try and increase a little bit of love and light into everything you do and everyone you come across. So I'm using 3 different decks of cards. You can see them sort of roughly sitting there on the table. I will start shuffling them in a minute. I have done a little bit of shuffling for your intention, and we will then work through and see what messages come. We're also calling in some angelic vibrational energy, so we've asked for Michael to come in, and I think we might call on Raphael as well and see what type of energies or messages we can get from them. So I'm going to start with this deck, which is a Doreen Virtue deck. It is a full tarot. The cards are a little bit bigger. They're devised from the principles or the energies of the elementals or fairies. So consequently you can see they're a little more difficult to shuffle. Anyhow, this is for Sagittarius for March 2019. Let's just put a little bit more energy into these. Get some sort of flow happening with them. One more, I think, and that's it. So let's see what 4 cards come from this deck, guys. Your first one for March 2019 is the Queen of Summer. She's the Queen of Cups. Emotional, loving, comforting and intuitive. Your next one is the 10 of Pentacles. I'll just move these ones back a little bit. Then we have a major arcana that is number 5, and Doreen Virtue calls it Unity. We then have another one, another major arcana, which is number 17, the Star. We will then take this, the Morgan Greer deck, and let's see if any of these cards repeat themselves, because these are the exact same tarot cards. We'll see if we get any replications or duplications from this deck. And if that happens, it tends to magnify the meaning of the card or the essence of it or the message behind it. I'm doing a whole random bunch of different styles of shuffling, as you can see. This is Sagittarius for March 2019. We have another major arcana there, and we have the Death card. Then we have the 7 of Cups. We have the 5 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Rods. So no duplications. I will now pull some from an oracle deck, which is also similar to the energies of the top one, sort of elemental in design. This is for Sagittarius. Children, pregnancy. Okay, children and pregnancy. Do some research, and vegetarian. And I may not finish there. I might use some of the other cards that we've been using for the readings as well. So if we take a look into this a little closer, we have been reading for the others down the columns, and I think, you know, we can read it any particular way we want. So we'll go with the flow and see what messages are coming in. But if we start with that first column, and we have the Queen of Cups, loving, comforting, emotional and intuitive, and we'll see the words that Doreen Virtue puts on it herself. So I'll pick it up and hold it up for you guys to see. listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others and perhaps too much. So sometimes this card does give us the whole empathy, sympathy and nurturing kind of feeling in life. And sometimes when she's around, she can be called upon to support and nurture others. And given that we've got this children down here, as children often need a lot of nurture and support from the adults in their life or the people around them, whether it be for physical support or emotional or spiritual as well. The Queen of Summer could also be for you guys someone who is a water sign energy coming in. So it could be someone that you already know who is a dear friend in particular, someone that you can go to, I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but to offload. You know, sometimes everyone needs someone to talk to. And these people, the water sign people, can be very generous at absorbing other people's needs and being the listener in life. They can also be very supportive in helpful ideas on way to get through emotional traumas and problems as well. So if you've got this person in your life and you are finding that you do want to sort of share with someone or have some caring energy, remember your water sign friends. Even if they are work friends or work colleagues as well, they may still be quite helpful to you. For some of you, this person may be coming in as an opportunity, as a new relationship. And I'm thinking possibly a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be. Again, it can just be a very fond friendship that is discovered and established. So if we come to the next card underneath it and we see the Death, we know that the Death is the ending of cycles. And I was about to say the beginning of new things. Well, really, death is the beginning of something new. So it has two polar opposites that are so tightly congealed within the essence of this card. It says goodbye to something of old, goodbye to old belief systems quite often. Sometimes it also says goodbye to relationships. So this could be a farewell, something leaving out of your current experiences or life that is making itself ready to go out the door type thing. So the energies abate, they slowly slide away. It's like if you're trying to hold on to it, you feel it sliding away from you and you think to yourself, oh, but wait, I'm not ready for this, or why is this happening? Because that's quite often how we associate when things move on from us, we are not necessarily ready. Now, it can also be physical health that we're talking about here. Some of you could have had a physical health problem that you've been dealing with for some time, and it's slowly abating away, and a new cycle of health will be coming in. So again, it can be very difficult to foresee the future. We can kind of see what's happening now when we feel things sliding away or changing, or our gut feelings are changing, or we clearly see relationships changing, but we can't necessarily see what's coming in terms of something new. And that's often when we feel a little bit of anxiety or tension. But allowing the whole process to just evolve in a natural way is the very best thing you can do. So if we come down to the children, it says your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. Now, in real terms, this whole column here is quite a discombobulated one. It doesn't seem to be telling me much of a story at this point in time. I may be better to be reading it across the rows instead of down the columns. So I can clearly see here there is something that's really telling me a story along here, especially for anybody who is seeking physical health or a pregnancy status at this point in time as well. But given that we've started down the columns, we'll keep going. If this is your sole purpose, something to do with children, this can be in any realm of your life. So this can be teaching them, it can be nurturing them, it can be fostering them, it can be parenting them. It can be learning about them to discover new ways of helping them, whether it be from a medical perspective or a physiological or psychological or spiritual. But something is telling you that somewhere along the line, children play a role in your life. Perhaps you are becoming more emotionally connected to them, which is what the Queen of Summer could be talking about, our emotions. And it says that you can exude this feeling of love, comforting and emotion and intuitive perspective, and maybe this is what's coming for you around a child in your life, or maybe you are finding out new feelings about children or aspects of them. Maybe this has even got something to do with a career path for some of you, where there's something in the middle here that, as I've said, is ebbing off, but something new could be coming in that pertains to children one way or another. So whether or not you start working with them, or you work with them in a different way, or you uplift a different modality that supports or surrounds children as part of your life. If we come down here, because I can't help myself, I want to do this, we see the children and it says your connection with them is quite profound and part of your life purpose. Then we see pregnancy and it says the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. So sometimes we have to take things not quite as literally as they're written, a lot like many famous books in the world. There's messages behind the words. So because the two children card aspects are placed together, again we're talking about something around children. Yes, it could be a pregnancy, but maybe you are looking to become pregnant and you've got this great desire to have children in your life. So this here says do some research. You need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. That's clearly telling you that there are some other factors that haven't been considered that will be very beneficial to you when you actually do the research. Now, for some of you, this could be indicative of things like alternative therapies in terms of finding or obtaining a pregnancy, or trying to uplift a foster child or adopt a child, or whether you are going into a blended family. There are other factors that you haven't yet looked into that are surrounding this whole aspect or dynamic of childhood for you. And when you start expanding and broadening your horizons and looking into it from an intellectual perspective, you will find some answers. So for each of you, this is going to be different. And of course, as I said, for some of you, this could be about merging a blended family that already has children and they're not yours, but you're trying to find the best proactive way of making it merge in a happy situation. Perhaps this is someone that you know who's desperately wanting to become an adoptive parent or foster children, and they're stuck and they don't know which is the right channel to go, and you're helping them. Perhaps this is for yourself, trying to obtain a pregnancy and you have been having a fertility problem. There are many different forms of therapy that can help with fertility issues as well. Now, for some of you, this could even relate back to your own childhood where you had problems. And there are issues that stem back to childhood fears or phobias, or feelings of lack, or feelings of fear or anger or resentment. So this column down the bottom, this row down the bottom is very powerful in the way it's jumped out. It's kind of taken over the reading and it wants to say quite a lot. If we come to the fourth card, which is the Vegetarian, I'm just moving this a little bit so we can see with more clarity. The Vegetarian says a new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So again, I feel that card is really succinctly tied into that whole bottom row, talking to us about this childhood perspective. And I know for a lot of you who are listening and you're long beyond the childhood bearing years, or you're not interested at all, as I said, there are many different dynamics that this perspective could be being viewed from. And at one time we were all children. So there could still be a message in here for us about something that happened in our childhood that is structuring our lives now that perhaps we are ready to move on from, to learn from, to let go of, which is what the Death card was also talking about. So I kind of get like a feeling of an L shape in the reading. It's almost like these are tied up here and intricately connected with all of this down here. The vegetarian message, you know, there are more and more people on the planet becoming vegetarian for whatever choices they make, whether it's for a health perspective to help create a healthier body for themselves, or whether it's from the perspective of not wanting to harm animals. But being a vegetarian is a great way of living. I'm not a vegetarian myself yet, although I eat very, very little meat, and over the time that I've been studying and doing Reiki and Reiki practicing, I have lessened and become, just as a natural perspective, less and less wanting to eat meat. It's been a very natural transition, and I suspect within, you know, a shortish time I will be eating very little, if none at all. So vegetarian doesn't have to be something that is a selective choice either. It can come about for you without even really necessitating it yourself. It can just be kind of like a cosmic energy force. Even if you wanted to retain being a meat eater, you can practice some days as a vegetarian, and it's also very good for your body, especially if you consume things like the nuts, the legumes, raw foods, so raw fruits and vegetables. And don't be afraid of fruits, because a lot of Western medicine tells us that there's too much sugar in fruit, but in fact it's not the same sugar that they've focused on that's creating, you know, diabetes and obese people. Fruit sugars are very, very different. But enough about that. Let's get ourselves back on track with the rest of this reading. And I guess since I've gone across the rows now, I think I might go and carry on across the rows for the rest of the messages. As I said, it doesn't really matter how we read. So we're coming back up to the Queen of Summer, which is the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles. This says, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children. Oh my gosh, I didn't realise that was in there either. So you can see just how much we've got in this reading about children. It just comes back again. And I noticed too that the salt lamp is casting this amazing glow across the camera screen. Now when I look at it on the table directly with my own eyes, there is no glow on that card at all. It doesn't exist. So it's merely a technological addition that's being put into the video, that beautiful golden glow like the sun casting itself across the Ten of Pentacles. So I'll read it again. Take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honouring family traditions. Yeah, and that's why I think I went down here. So it just jumped out at me, and I think maybe that was Raphael. When I said I called in Raphael, you know, that's the healing angel. So I think in here, this reading for you guys, for some of you, it's not everyone, but there feels like there's a healing coming from a long time ago when some of you were children and there was some sort of pain associated with perhaps family issues or family matters that have happened. And if it wasn't when you were a child, then I feel for some of you it is now, and it's about children around you, and some of these will be blended children or blended families that the healing is directed at. Yeah, it's quite an extensive message, and it's just unfolding, but it's really taking, as I said to you with this row, it just took all this attention. So, and the way this light is shining on this card, which, as I say, I cannot see it visually, it doesn't exist, but it's beautiful when I see it across the camera that I'm looking at. So the Ten of Pentacles is a very fortuitous card. It bodes well. It talks about generosity of love, which we talked about earlier as well, bringing love into all of the situations around you. And it talks about the loving arms of a family and of an extended family. Now, in today's society, our families are very unique. what your family is may not be the same as mine, and what someone else's is, I do not have the right to criticize or judge. So for each individual person, whatever your family feels to you, this feeling of love around it, embrace that and enrich it and fuel it and foster it, because that's a powerful card and it's a powerful message. Take all of the family members, the grandparents, the extended people, the people that you feel like they're family but they might just be friends, past family members, divorced family members, whatever. Gather all of those up into your realm of being and embrace them with, oneness of love. And you don't have to do that physically, you just do it from a mental perspective or from a spiritual perspective, and that will cast a beautiful aura of protection and awareness and togetherness across your family unit, which will bring you manifestation and positivity, and it will also help heal rifts and issues, and it will help surge protection as well. And remember, Michael is here and he is the angel of protection. So we come to number 5, and it is unity, which is the Hierophant card traditionally, and it says do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches. Wow, I might sound a bit fake. I'm not. I don't use this deck of Doreen Virtues very often, so I don't know all the words on it. But here I am kind of talking about these things like the new version of a family and accepting that and being able to understand each dynamic as it is and for what it is without judgment. And then the card more or less says the same thing. And I really love her title at the top, which is Unity. She says, a spiritually minded community. Boom. It's what I've just been saying about the 10 of Pentacles as well. So those cards are really amplifying each other in words and in feeling of unity, which is the power of the 10 of Pentacles that I got. So I am pleased I decided to go across the row with the reading, even though I thought we would be going down the columns. The Hierophant also stands for things like respect, teaching, traditional rules and ceremony, fitting in with the status quo, accepting discipline, peer pressure, studying higher values, sharing a belief system, knowing how to act appropriately, and discrimination from knowledge. The thing is, the Hierophant can sometimes feel to us as though he is trapping us in, but I think her card really embellishes this whole embracing of new awareness and alignment and acceptance and tolerance. So if any of you feel as though you might have been either discouraged to make a move in a certain direction with relationships or people or your belief systems, or whether you have felt, pushed aside by family members or by morals within a certain family, stand up gently. Don't do it with any venom or terseness, but stand up for your rights and do it with love and honesty, and you'll just have to work it through from there. But definitely don't be pushed into the negatives of judgment from other people's perspectives and dynamics. We are all here to feel love and happiness, and it's important that we do so without the fear of being trod on or restricted by others. But sometimes it takes a while for others to be able to accept change, so it means that we have to be patient, we have to be cautious, and we have to be gentle with how we foster that change on them, especially older people. We come to the last card in the line, and it's the Star. It is a beautiful card, and I love that it's sitting right under this glorious crystal, which is one of my all-time favourites, which funnily enough is the Angelite crystal, or the Celestite. And it's a very, very pale blue crystal that has amazing different little double pointer crystals in it, which give energy off in all sorts of different directions. It's extremely calming and soothing and peaceful, and it brings in the vibrations of celestial workers, cosmic workers, angelic vibrations and light. And so for for the fact that it was sitting right atop the star card seems to almost make it shine and fluoresce like a star in the night sky. So I just thought I might show you that beautiful crystal. The power of it and the calming nature of it is absolutely beautiful and intriguing. So yeah, very angelic and lots of energy that comes and goes from this particular crystal. But coming back to the star, the meanings for it are: look to the future with hope and optimism, the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. So the star is one of the beloved cards in a deck, and when it turns up in a reading, it offers us protection, which is kind of what that celestite stone is doing above it. Same type of colour palette, those really gentle, soft blues that are flowing through the star card and up into the crystal. So when the star is in, it magnifies positives in other cards, and it decreases any negative feelings or emotions or situations in the cards that hold it, such as perhaps this one here and maybe this one as well. So focus on the star for uplifting new energy and positive dreams and aspirations, and to manifest these things in your life. We come to the Death card, which we have already talked about before. So interestingly, the Death got a look in twice. So that again, it tells me a little bit that we know it's a major arcana, and you have the three of them here, this one, and this one. But it tells us that the Death seems to be more profound, more poignant. I guess the fact that he sits in the middle row is also perhaps telling us a little bit of something. Now, timing-wise, because we changed the way we were doing the reading, I'm not sure about the time frame. This could be sort of the middle of March, but it could have also been occurring towards the beginning of March for you guys. So this Death card might rattle its way through for a while. But remember the most important thing that we said, it's about feeling change coming, a change of direction from your heart, from inside, from a spiritual perspective as well, possibly also from a physical health direction. Some of you may be, as I said, ebbing something off and allowing something to flow through, new energies coming. However, when we get to this line in the middle, we see a little bit of, there's a few glitches that are merging together and creating a little bit of energy flow or energetic vibration. However, the diagonal, the star at the top, is disabling it a little bit. She's denouncing it down. The Seven of Cups is actually not a bad card. It is a card of options and choices, and that's kind of where the Death takes you. When something old passes out, it makes way for the new, and when we come into the new, we have a choice in which direction we take. So what it feels as though it's saying is that you are going to have quite a few directions and options that you might be considering. Again, this could be personal relationships, it might be career, it might be health. It will be different for each of you. Now, some of these options are going to look really fantastic. They're going to sound great. You're going to be like, whoa, yay, man. It's all going for me. Luck's on my side. But be careful which one you make, because some of them aren't right. And it's just important that you take the time to look at them all logically and make the right choice. And that's the main message of the card. Your choice is your future. So just remember that. Your choice is not your past that's been and gone. You have the option to set the tone of the future the way you want to go. So make the best choice. Then we come to this one and we see him here. We're still in the Cups energy. This is still about emotions. He's turned his back to us. He seems a bit sad about something that has left, something that has gone, something that has died away. So the problem with him is he just needs to turn around and see the other two beautiful glowing chalice golden cups sitting there and realise that there is still plenty around him to connect with, to love, to enjoy, to embellish, to flourish. It's just timing, I think, with this card. The Five of Cups is not a long time feeling because it's in the middle from 0 to 10 or 1 to 9. So it's kind of like just sitting on that middle of the seesaw for a short time until you rebalance your decisions and your directions and your choices. It's about lifting your head up, looking into the future, looking up that hill that's in the background and saying, okay, yep, I'm a wee bit sad about a direction that's gone, or someone that's gone, or something that's gone, but my focus now is this, the Knight of Rods. And actually it's really good that he's there, because he just lifts up that whole row and he imbues energy into it like a fire stick, because that's what the wands are. They're the fire sign energy, like yourself. So he's all ready to go again. Now, the knights are similar to the pages. The page comes just before them with this brand new offer of something. So the knight comes along behind it, stirring up the energy and the ideas and the conception and the whole like, wow, 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 yes, let's go for it. So somewhere in here, there's this perhaps feeling of, oh, don't go, stay a bit longer, I'm not ready for this to happen, I'm not ready for this change. And then suddenly it's as if you make the right choice, or you see the adventure, or you see the future, and you're ready to open the door and rush through it. And that's what the Knight of Rods can do. Now that can be in the creative sector, and it can be through jobs as well. So this could have something to do with your careers or creativity around you. And it's about new offers, opportunities, directions. For some of you it may represent a pay rise or a new job interview, a new offer of a job, a new creative idea, the finishing off of a project, or the next stage of a project. If some of you have had something like writer's block, then this might be the time for it to be gone and for you to be up and running and carrying on again. So there we are, Sagittarians. It turned out to be quite a lengthy reading just because of the way we switched the cards around, but I think in the end we did the right thing. The messages seemed to flow a little bit better. So hey guys, have a wonderful March ahead. Remember to check out your moon and rising signs. You're sure to find some really interesting readings there as well. Please sub the channel and push the notification button so that you will get to see my uploads when I do them, because I only do these videos and readings to pass out the gratefulness of love and harmony and light and healing to you all. So thanks again everyone, all the very best, much love, namaste.